I somehow just passed $200,000 worth of credit and a credit score of over 800 at the age of 30. I used to not care about credit till about 5 years ago when I started to hunker down and look more into credit and started applying for credit cards. So in this video, I'm going to go over all the credit cards I currently have and my 5 tips on starting out. I'm not making this video to try and brag or to pretend I'm a big baller or anything. I think having credit and this freedom and responsibility is important, and I wanted to share my tips and advice for someone that's starting out. So hit that like if you enjoy free tips and advice. I know I certainly do. Alright, let's jump in and let's get into the video. Thanks for watching another video. If you're new to the channel, I actually make a lot of Tesla videos as I picked up my Tesla Model 3 about a year ago, and every once in a while I like to make a credit card video depending on which card I've recently picked up or I find interesting. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. So hey, here are all my cards. I have 5 Amex cards, 1 Capital One card, a Quicksilver card, a Bank of America credit card, and 6 Chase cards, but one of them isn't active. So really 5 Chase cards. And of course, and 1 store credit card, which I probably wouldn't recommend. It was more of like a spontaneous buy at the time. So we'll really get into the first credit card, which is the Restoration Hardware credit card, which I used to finance a couch at 0%. This credit card actually gave me a $29,000 credit limit, which is actually pretty crazy for one credit card. It's probably one of the more higher credit limit cards that I have, but it's probably because they were trying to entice me to buy a ton of furniture. Next, we'll go into the Capital One Quicksaver card, which I actually don't use at all. I just leave it open because of the credit limit, which has a credit limit of $15,000. Next is my Bank of America credit card, which I use a little bit from time to time. It's more so my backup credit card, and this has a credit limit of $35,000. Next, we go into my pretty big relationship with Chase, with actually 5 credit cards with them. I used to have 2 Southwest cards to get the companion pass, but I recently just closed one, and I'm probably going to close the other. I have the Chase Slate, the Chase Marriott card, the Chase Reserve card, the Chase Inc. Business Preferred card, and recently I just picked up the Chase Freedom Unlimited card just for the 0% and the small spend bonus. I always recommend having some sort of 0% card at all times, just so you have some buffer. And lastly, there's American Express, which I actually like a little bit more than Chase. I have 5 cards with them. Technically, this American Express Platinum, I'm on as an authorized user for my friends, so I get some of the benefits. So it's not really my credit line, but I have 2 charge cards, the American Gold card, which I use extensively as my daily card, and the American Express Green card, which I really don't use at all. And finally, the American Express Everyday card and the American Express Blue Cash Business for some of the point spends. All in all, I have about $90,000 of credit extended with Chase alone. And American Express, I have about another $45,000. The other $50,000 is between the Bank of America card, the Restoration Hardware card, and the Capital One Quicksilver card, which puts me above $200,000, which is actually really crazy if you think about it. So in the next part of the video, I'm going to go over my 5 tips and advice that I've learned throughout the years with opening and closing these credit cards. So the first tip, and you've probably heard this with any sort of video about credit, is to always pay on time. I had a hiccup when I was about 18 years old and I had no idea about credit. I actually had a 30-day late payment on my credit record, which actually haunted me for about 7 to 8 years because that's how long it takes for it to fall off your credit report. So always, please pay on time and never be late more than 30 days. Once the 30-day late mark came off my credit, I was home free and my credit scores started to steadily increase. My second tip is don't be afraid to open new credit cards, but take it one step at a time. It might be super exciting to get credit lines and the freedom of being able to buy a lot of different things, but really take it one step at a time. A lot of people recommend starting with Chase credit cards as they have the 5/24 rule, which is no more than 5 accounts in the past 24 months for approval with Chase. So really take it one step at a time and don't use these credit cards to purchase anything out of your means, of course, even though it's super tempting. This is something I really didn't learn until about 25 to 26 years old, and I used to use credit cards to buy anything I really wanted, and I definitely got in some trouble. I finally understood that credit was a long game and you really had to build it long term for other credit card companies to give you a bunch of credit. My third tip is to ask for credit line increases, but research beforehand. Some banks will extend more credit to you without a hard pull and just a soft pull. What that means is a hard pull will show an inquiry on your credit report, but a soft pull won't. So definitely do your research to see which banks you can get away with getting more credit with a soft pull instead of a hard pull. Which leads me to my fourth tip. Hard inquiries really aren't the end of the world and they disappear. In the beginning, I was really super afraid of hard inquiries, but I realized it's not like I was opening credit cards every single month. so it really wasn't that big of a deal. I think the most hard inquiries I've had in a year was about 5, which include auto loans and credit. So you can definitely go at it and open some credit cards, but of course don't go overboard. My last and final tip is to monitor your debt to credit ratio. Even if you have 0% credit cards, you don't want to load them up with buying a bunch of things because you don't want a high debt to credit ratio on that credit card. I realized later on that your credit is significantly affected by your debt to credit ratio, or how much debt you have in comparison to how much credit you have in total. And this really goes down to individual credit cards too. For instance, if you have $100,000 credit extended to you on your credit cards, but you have $10,000 in debt, that's about a 10% credit to debt ratio utilization of all your credit cards. You want to keep this as low as possible and as low as possible per card, as it can negatively affect your credit. So make sure you're not putting too much debt on one card, even if it's 0%. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on where you're at on your credit journey. And if you have any other tips, I'd love to hear from you down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!